As a child, I was kind of like repressed with my gaming in a lot of ways. Like my parents didn't like me playing video games a lot. And then one day I'm just, sitting at my computer and I get a contact request from IceFrog. And I'm like, oh, well, this is interesting. My name is Brian Heron. I am also known online as Kpoptosis. I was born in a small town in Alabama, went to the University of Alabama. I graduated from there with a biology degree. And not long after I graduated, I moved out here to sunny California, and I am now the stats man, amongst other things, for Beyond the Summit. And so when I got to college, I kind of went crazy. I got a gaming PC like my sophomore year off of a scholarship refund, and from then it kind of went crazy. I got into, like, it was towards the end of World of Warcraft, but I still got into it pretty heavily. And then from there I got into the MOBA that shall not be named, and made a really quick transition as soon as I could over to the Dota 2 beta, which I really enjoyed. And I really kind of like nerded out over it. Like, I played a ton of games in a very short period of time. I have a big background in like traditional sports. Like, I really enjoy baseball, and baseball is a huge numbers game, and there's a lot of statistical analysis and metrics there. And so I wondered if I could, kind of meld the two in a lot of ways. Of course, I was like influenced by Bruno at TI2 with all the statistical stuff. And so I did several like write-ups and stuff. I posted on the Dota 2 subreddit, and amongst other things. And they were received relatively well. Some members of Team Liquid staff thought it was decent and brought me on, and I wrote several articles from them. And from there I got involved with some casters, namely like Vikramond and Shiver, doing some Starlighter coverage. And from there I even got, I talked to David Gorman here, LD, at Beyond the Summit, and worked with them on some tournaments like Alienware Cup and G League in early 2013. Well, I had done a lot of work with both Shiver and Beyond the Summit, and they both seemed to enjoy the work that I did. So once the broadcaster tools came out, which is the stuff that we used, show the stats on screen, a lot of those people were very curious as to whether or not we would do something like that at the International 3. So David and Shiver, and I think even Bruno, who I talked with a lot about it, contacted IceFrog and was like, hey, what are we going to do about this? Do we want to bring somebody in? What's the plan? And so in like June, it was kind of late in the game. It was like early June, late May, I actually got a contact request from IceFrog himself, basically asking me what I would do, what my visions were if I had control of everything, and whether or not I wanted to go to Seattle. A lot of people think the Kpoptosis comes from Artosis from StarCraft, and I did watch a lot of StarCraft, but the name actually has to deal with apoptosis, which is a biological process where cells basically commit suicide to save the rest of the cells. Say if they're infected with carcinogens or other type of bacteria that's going to spread if they don't die. And I did a lot of research with that and how it relates to Alzheimer's disease. And so that was my name for a while. It's just Kpoptosis for a while in Steam. And basically me and a couple of friends were queuing late at night. We might have been drinking a bit, and a guy made a joke like, you should make your name Kpoptosis. It's a pun. And I was like, actually, that's pretty funny. So I kept that as my name for a while, and I thought it was funny. It's probably not the best name, but it's unique. It's mine, so you might as well own it. It's kind of subjective. It's kind of what people see and want in statistics. But personally, what makes good statistics in Dota are statistics that are telling about the game in a true sense. Like, not really, obviously it doesn't need to be misleading, but it also needs to be entertaining. It might be interesting, like certain things might be very interesting in regards to just statistical aspect, but what we're doing as broadcasters is first and foremost entertaining the viewers. So we don't want to do anything that's too banal or boring or repetitive. We want to make something that's always exciting, and we want to increase the value of the current broadcasts and the casters. Like always, when I was working with my casters at TI, I was always, or my stats underlings, I was always like, we are not a third caster. Was basically what I was big on. Like, we're not the third person there in the booth. We're there to make them look good. When they're talking about something, that's when we drop our stats about that something. Like, we are there as kind of a secondary way to give the audience a more well-rounded view of the game and how it's happening. Because like in baseball, it's very important to be like, oh, this guy has, 400 on base percentage. That means he's a very good hitter. It's one thing for a caster to say, oh, this guy plays a very good Queen of Pain. But be able to back it up and to be like, oh, well, this guy has, 75% win rate with Queen of Pain, and they pick it a lot, or other teams ban it a lot, vice versa. Add some validity to what the casters are saying. So even though you might trust someone like an LD who's been around for a while, when he says someone's good at Queen of Pain, you trust him that he's good at Queen of Pain. It's still good to have that, I guess, proof in a lot of ways.